911, what's the nature of your emergency?
Hey, welcome back, YouTube. It's your man Ronin back with another 5-minute Firewatch Report. And both subscribers, old and new, salute to you guys. All my veterans, Simplify, what's good with you guys? And much love to A-Game Nation. So today's 5-minute Firewatch Report, excuse me, still waking up, is the Weekend Liberty Edition. Now, in the core, now remember, before the weekend, we always get this safety formation because they would have a very blunt instructions as to how to protect ourselves, how to get back into formation Monday morning, knowing most times that we were all drunk, whatever. Hopefully we got all that happy goofiness out of our system. Now, this applies to not just those in active duty, but those who are out here in the civilian theater. It still applies, but even more on a grander scale because it's much more chaotic here. Thing is, as I've always said, you have to be your own commanding officer now. You have to establish your own SOP. We're talking about SOS, system, order, and structure. And number one with the weekend, well, before I get into that, I want to say the updates, like I will continue the military mirror series as I've been looking to do. Just been adjusting with this whole new fitness training regimen and getting everything in order. This Project Phoenix is still in order. So if it's about a matter of safety, all that other stuff, you come first. You take care of business. And with that being said, we're going to start with the whole business with number one. Jonathan proofing yourself. Now, granted, and many times we sit there and say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of you Jonathans are very hard-headed. You don't like the idea of being told what to do. You're more reactive than proactive. So, number one, since you love being a trick, the idea is what you need to do to be smart is go to a local store, so like a Walmart, Meijer, whatever, and they have these little travel wallets. And you sit there and you snap it around your waist. I have it here buried here somewhere, but thing is, you go in there, and whenever you decide to go to the ATM, whenever you decide to go to the strip club or whatever, what have you, number one, keep an eye on your peripherals. You got people who are watching for your access cards and information or whatnot. If anything, put your wallet in that little travel wallet. You tuck it in your pants. That way, if you see her sitting there patting your pockets, you already know what the fuck you're dealing with. Number two, when it comes to Jonathan improving yourself, learn how to be aware of your surroundings. I know you're getting all caught up in the scant ass and what have you, be it in that intimate setting, which in that Days Inn or whatever, or you're in that loud vicinity where they're dancing, but you're being splashed with booty sweat and all this goofy stuff. Thing is, you gotta be careful with where you're at. Be cool as best you can be. Most times, when I used to go to the strip club, I always make sure I oriented myself to a corner. That way I could see anything that's coming my way. Either be them chicks, butt naked floor technicians doing their job, or you got dudes out there who are looking for an easy mark. This is why I say you get that wallet, and that way you protect yourself. It has a zipper or whatever, so you already know she's out there messing with that, and you're sober of mind. You know what you need to do to defend yourself. Now, speaking of that, safety and sober numbers. Now, granted, they always tell us in the military, hey, you go out there, get drink, be merry, all that stuff. And usually you hear about bar fights, dudes getting thrown through windows, dudes getting, beat up in parking lots, some guys getting thrown between the refrigerator and whatever, furniture moving. It happens. Now, the thing is, it's different when you have a bunch of drunk ass bastards out there. Of course, you have that beer courage. Of course, you're not going to feel anything until the morning or until you're in the ER or whatever. But the thing is, you have to have some designated drivers in the mix, especially in the civilian theater. If you're not able to get yourself to a place, your buddies, if you're gonna find out if they're your real friends or not, your buddy should call an Uber, not just sit there to put money in my pocket. It's my duty to make sure you get home safe. That's all that matters. Now, I do have vomit bags, and I encourage other Uber drivers to have them. But knowing how pissy drunk a lot of you guys get, more likely you guys are not going to use them. So my thing is, to the drivers, briefly, make sure you get that air circulating in there for them. You know, hearing them doing them drunk hiccup burps, you already know what it is. Is he about to spit up, or she is? That's a whole nother video. Now, this goes aside from alcohol. Some people will be popping pills. Some people will use a needle or whatever vice they tend to use. You need to be careful with that. Now, this extends beyond the drugs and all that stuff. Safety and sober numbers, I'm meaning when you have individuals who are drunk off themselves, who are individuals who are high off their keyboard courage, or what have you. If you go anywhere in a public setting, it is your duty to make sure you give a warning to individuals. Look, I got beef, blah, blah, blah. I got whatever happens. Too many times, especially on the weekend, we get people get blindsided by other people's bullshit. And I want to say rest in peace to young Dolph, but things like that, people out there, you know, because people believe this is ops culture. They always got to have something going on. And what I don't like is being blindsided by another motherfucker shit. There's been a few times where I almost got deleted because certain individuals did not tell me they had smoked with certain people. Some people I knew, some people I didn't know. That's why I'm very cautious of who I go out with. Now, briefly going back to the alcohol part, beer goggles, a condition that exists while in a drunken state where a member of the opposite sex appears much more attractive than when sober. Now, a lot of us veterans already know, especially when I was stationed in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, a Gitmo 10 is usually about an American 7, maybe 5, whatever. It's a very flimsy. This is the scale when you guys get, you know, separated from the populace. You tend like, oh yeah, she'll do. She looks better because of dehydration or the fact that, you know what, it's better than nothing. When it comes to scarcity, that number tends to go up. And a lot of these chicks know this shit. Let's stop pretending. So when it comes to the beer goggles, you guys need to be careful because that 10 at 2 a.m., you find out being a 2 at 10 a.m. I want you to marinate on that. Now, guys, this is a situation that you need to fix. A lot of us suffer from this condition, and we need to be mindful of it because that's what it comes to the lost value system, talking about leisure with no limit. Thing called dementia. It's a chronic or persistent disorder of the mental processes caused by excessive thirst and marked by memory disorders, personality changes, and impaired reason. Now, I had to bring this one up because a lot of times, a lot of guys act brand new when they find a chick that's either fine, she's horny as hell, or, you know they about to get a little bit of action. Some guys act a little different. So the thing is, if you're cool, your homies, hey man, look, be careful out there. What up? Strap up. Now, it goes back to Jonathan proofing yourself when it comes to your condoms. You know, you out there and just shoot off, you know, send rounds down range, make it a point. If you use condoms, dispose of them correctly. And shout out to Tom Likens for this. You get you a little bottle and your little deal I told you earlier with your wallet. Keep your little bottle of hot sauce. Make sure it's strong too. Now, whenever you sit there and fire off in the condom, a couple dabs to do to you in that condom, because whether we like to admit it or not, there are some women who do fish condoms out of the toilet or wherever have you. Now, my thing is you sit there and sabotage that condom. It'd be very interesting. You get called into a court order. I will happily take time off to go to court for that situation. Because how's she gonna explain how her box is on fire because she sat there and tried to basically get you a little anchor baby. It's desperate times calls for desperate measures. Sounds fucked up, but salute to Tom Likers for that tip because it is funny as hell, but it is a reality out here. There's chicks out here doing some very scandalous shit, which, we go with the beer goggles, which leads to this conversation. Post-nut clarity. The immediate clear-mindedness and soberness in individual gains after orgasm can also be achieved by pre-baiting, masturbating before a date encounter to induce sexual urges. Now, reality, post-nut clarity does work, especially when you cheat around at the chamber. Sometimes you already know before a date, all right, let me fire one off and then go clear of mind, like, all right, I'm cool. Now, if you happen to link up with a chick who y'all hit it off well, hey, that way you be able to last a few more rounds. That's a safety gun tip. Now, when it comes down to it, guys, when you're being raw dog specialists, a lot of times post-nut clarity plays against you because too many guys get out there and not worry about STDs because most people don't go to the free clinic and get that report. You're worrying about, again, when you're in that state of dick dementia, there are some women who sit there will set you up. Some of us have lived to tell about it. Some of us haven't. So you have to be very sober of mind when you enter these situations. It's a series of decisions that we make, and we can't make excuses of the consequences. You made them choices. You got to stand on them choices. Even if it seems cool, if your intuition and your foresight is telling you, hey, hold up, something ain't right here, follow your first motherfucking mind. I cannot stress this enough. Now, before I close, I want you guys to understand that this is a tool. Shout out to A Game. This is a tool. This isn't just help for your vitality and with your energy, your focus and libido. You have to remember this is more than just some simple dick tool or a dick pill. Okay? That first thing you feel when you take A Game should be your neurons firing. Get you to thinking, get rid of that brain fog, which I mentioned the whole thing about dick dementia. You can still be affected if you allow it to. My thing is, when it comes to using that tool, which is A Game, you still make those choices. You can be clear in mind. It is on you because you have free will to do whatever you're going to do. You have to own up whatever you do. Period. There are no excuses. You still have to be mindful. People can slip things into your drink or into your food if you're not careful. So if you get up and leave certain things, hey, let that be. Let it ease away. Drink, food, whatever. Because again, some people do not mean you no good. So that being said, guys, be careful, be sober in mind, be safe. And then when it comes to the sobriety part, be mindful of who you surround yourself with. If they keep a lot of bullshit going for your safety, maybe it's time you need to distance yourself and go do your own thing. Go to a public setting to where you can enjoy yourself and take time to recharge and get back into the mission and handle your business. Especially my veterans, because people can tell if you served most times. A lot of old habits die hard. Sometimes they go by the haircut. Sometimes they go by your jargon. Sometimes they go by how you dress, how you move, how you think. You're always being studied. The thing is, you got to be mentally and spiritually prepared because it is spiritual warfare. And the thing is, a lot of people use leisure as an entryway to not only treat you as a lick, but treat you as a target. So as always, never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. And it always takes a pussy to expose and control one. Do not be a victim of dick dementia, nor find out that post-nut clarity, you laid up with a mud duck. or truck or turnpike Mike. You guys be safe out there, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Peace.